For Creamer Media's Polity, I'm Shannon de Rehove. Researcher and analyst Professor Raymond Suttner joins me for Suttner's View, a weekly commentary on South Africa's political scene. Welcome, Professor.
Thanks a lot.
The economic freedom fighters indicated before last week's proceedings that they would interrupt President Jacob Zuma's State of the Nation address. They succeeded in doing this and were also thrown out. But what have they achieved beyond that?
Yes, when the EFF went into Parliament, they definitely had a very big impact. They have a very good sense of symbolism and drama. And the uniform that they wore, a number of these things carried meaning. And the disruption itself created a lot of interest in Parliament, and it was effective in the sense that pay back the money became a part of public discourse. So in that sense, the EFF, even last year, had put Zuma's lack of accountability into the public domain in the way that the conventional way of handling Parliament would not have done. But when you get involved in politics, if you take one step, you must understand what is going to unfold after that. If you keep on with this thing of pay back the money and President Zuma continues to refuse to pay back the money or to answer the question, what happens then? And I think it's not very clear to me how the EFF envisages the unfolding of this. Do they want a permanently unworkable Parliament? Is that a good thing? It's not clear to me that the EFF is committed to parliamentary democracy. They are said to be revolutionaries and left-wing, and personally I find these labels unhelpful, because for us to have achieved democracy in South Africa was a very important gain, and it's very important to restore that should we be able to. But I don't think the EFF has really thought out where it will go to from there. The DA is very clear. The DA will go to court, and they may go to court with the Helen Suzman Foundation. Now, what happens what does the EFF do if it goes to court? Now, what's interesting about something going to court is that depoliticizes a problem. Instead of it being resolved through political debate, discussion, argument, organization, it gets left to a more clinical atmosphere of a court of law. Now, what are the EFF going to do while that happens? What is their politics during that period? So my problem with the EFF is that they have a sort of one-track mind, sort of horse with blinkers. You know, you just go this direction, there are no zigzags. And anyone who knows about struggle, and these people have not really been in struggle, they have been around in the ANC Youth League, which was really not about real political struggle. Anyone who knows about struggle knows you've got to be prepared to zigzag. Sometimes you can't go along a straight line. Sometimes you have to crawl to get to a certain destination. There's not always a straight line. And I don't think they thought that out. That is one of the problems. I also think that they are not really contributing anything new to political discussion in the country. There's no sense that the EFF has brought, the Zuma ANC is depoliticized. There's no what's happening now has got nothing to do with national democratic revolution or class struggle or whatever you want to talk about. It's really about protecting one man. Now, EFF have not raised the politics above that one man. We don't know what they stand for. They've not entered debates. We don't really, we have there's a book they've got, there's a book about them, but in their practice, it's not really adding anything to political climate in South Africa.
If one supports multi-party democracy, though, and pluralism, are the EFF not adding something to the mix?
They are and they're not, in the sense that, as I've indicated, they are not adding to political alternatives that we should have. Now, there are a number of characteristics about the EFF which I think are warning signals. On the one hand, they come from the ANC Youth League, and the ANC Youth League, led by Malema at the time, are the ones who said, kill for Zuma. And they come from those same practices whereby you use all means are fair and foul to elect who you want. Mm-hmm. Hence, we saw at the electoral conference of the EFF that they had a list there, and there was a lot of dissatisfaction brewing within the EFF about how the leaders were selected. Along with this, you have, on the one hand, a very masculinist, militarist ANC, and you have another version of militarism, the commander-in-chief, fighter, this one, all military terms. Now, what I think this indicates to us is that we have got a variant of Zumaism in the EFF, and it is not really clear that they, some people say they are left-wing, but there's no clarity as to what they're going to do with the land. They said they're going to nationalize and the mines. It is not clear how that is going to benefit the poor. It's not clear how that is going to comply with the Constitution, and they don't seem to care. And I think the problem with the EFF is that they are like loose cannons. They know that they will, if they do this, if they smash this, if they disrupt this, they will get media attention. But where it will take us to is not clear. Now, it is also evident that the EFF, as a mass movement, has got serious divisions. And there is this man from the Free State, Makatse, I think his name is, who was going to bring a court action about the conference to have it declared illegal, or that it didn't conform to the law. And he was filmed at Parliament, sort of pacing up and down. Apparently he had said that he didn't agree with what was going to be done in Parliament. You have this thing with Tama, and it's whatever the merits of what is going on there, it is clear that there's a division. I am not saying that, I'm not picking sides in this matter, but what is very clear is that there is, I don't know if he's been expelled or not been expelled, and Kunene and Gaten Kenzie are involved with him, so I don't know what's going to happen. So what I feel is it's important for pluralism to have more parties, but it's not clear that the EFF is going to add to democratic debate in this country.
Thank you very much for your insight.
Thanks a lot.
That was Professor Raymond Suttner speaking to Creamer Media's Polity about the EFF and its contribution to South African politics.